Some places are difficult to reach. Burgh Island chooses when you can. This is Burgh Island. Welcome to Something Stayed Here. Some places don't tell you they're haunted. You feel it when you arrive. People came here searching for ghost stories, but that's not where the story begins. It begins with the tide. Twice each day the sea covers the causeway. The island is cut off, and for centuries that decided everything. Who crossed? Who stayed? Who waited? Our question is simple. How did an island shaped by the sea become a place shaped by legend? First answer isn't found in a ghost story. It's found in a small stone chapel. Long before the hotel, long before Agatha Christie, travellers stopped here before crossing the water. They prayed, then they waited for the tide. The chapel still stands. Its stones have outlived the people who built it. But one story refused to disappear. A solitary monk. Whether he truly lived here isn't the point. People remembered him. And on an island where the sea erases footprints twice a day, memory became the only thing the tide couldn't carry away. The monk wasn't the last person to find something on Burgh Island. He was the first, because the same tide that brought pilgrims would one day bring smugglers. The chapel wasn't built by accident. For centuries this crossing connected travellers with the mainland. When the tide turned, the journey stopped. People waited, some prayed. The chapel gave them somewhere to do both. It also left Burgh Island with its oldest surviving story. Local tradition remembers a solitary monk. Little is known about him. No diary survives, no detailed account, only the story, and that matters. Not because it proves anything, but because people chose to keep telling it. Generations came and went, and their story remained. On Burgh Island, memory often lasted longer than evidence. That pattern would repeat itself again and again and again, because the same isolation that preserved one story would soon protect very different secrets. The chapel welcomed visitors. The chapel welcomed travellers. Not everyone who reached Burgh Island came to pray. Some came because the tide could hide far more than footsteps. Isolation offered more than protection. It offered opportunity. For generations, fishing sustained life here. The sea provided. The Pilchard Inn became the island's centre, a place to eat, to rest, to exchange news from the mainland. But the tide offered something else. It offered time. When the crossing disappeared, so did unwanted visitors. Smugglers understood that. Cargo could be landed, hidden, moved on before daylight. The sea became an accomplice. Among the names still linked to Burgh Island is Tom Crocker. Local tradition remembers him as a fisherman. Others remember as smuggler. The details have blurred with time, but the story hasn't. His name still belongs to the island, not because history recorded every step, because local memory refused to forget him. Burgh Island had become a place where fact and folklore travelled together. That reputation was about to reach far beyond Devon. The tide hadn't changed, and neither had the island, but what did change was the people it attracted. Not pilgrims, not smugglers, but guests. In 1929, the Burgh Island Hotel opened. Built in the Art Deco style, it quickly became a retreat for writers, actors and royalty. The island was changing, the tide wasn't. It still decided who arrived and who waited, and among those visitors was Agatha Christie. She knew Burgh Island well. She knew its isolation, its silence, its certainty that once the tide returned, everyone stayed exactly where they were. Those ideas found their way into her stories, most famously, the story, and then there were none. A tale of strangers trapped on an isolated island, unable to leave. Whether Burgh Island inspired every detail doesn't matter. Its reputation had escaped the shoreline. People no longer visited because they knew the island. They visited because they already knew the story. By then, history and fiction had become impossible to separate. Stories brought people here. Some left believing they had experienced one of their own. Today, people still cross the causeway looking for answers. Some come for the views and some come for the history. Others arrive hoping to experience something they can't explain. Over the years, visitors and staff have described footsteps in empty corridors and voices with no obvious source, figures seen only for a moment. But none of these reports stand alone. They arrive at the end of a story that began centuries earlier. A chapel, a solitary monk, fishermen, smugglers, a famous hotel, and a writer who understood the power of isolation. Each generation left something behind. The next generation added to it. That's how reputations are built. Not all at once, but over centuries. So, is Burgh Island haunted? History can't answer that, and neither can folklore. What they can explain is why people still ask. Because long before anyone reported a voice in an empty room, the island had already become a place where stories were expected. Twice each day the tide still returns, the crossing disappears. For a few hours Burgh Island becomes an island again. Whether it leaves behind ghosts or simply remarkable stories is for you to decide. Because that's what Something Stayed Here is really about. Not providing the impossible, but discovering how extraordinary places earn the reputations they still carry today. Join me next time as we travel to another place where history and legend become impossible to separate. Until then, this has been Something Stayed Here.